First of all, what's this been like for your mom going through this?
This has been a huge life change for her. She had a fall, which is not uncommon in the elderly population. She's never really had a major one before, and ended up in the hospital. And they said everything was going to be okay, except then she ended up with a pelvic bleed also. And so they told us, you've got 2 to 12 hours. And so the family, my kids from all over rushed in, of course, to say their loving goodbyes to their Nana, who they love more than anything. And she lingered, which in some ways you'd say is great. But it's not really what she wants. And we as a family had kind of prepared that the doctor's suggestion would be okay, and I don't blame them for having a misplaced suggestion. But then when the decision as a family, and we had talked about it many, many, many times, she asked me to whether I would do the application, and I did the application after trying and trying and trying to get through. Then a couple of days later was told, no, she's not sick enough. She has heart disease. She has kidney disease. She's had strokes before, but we were told, no, each one of those is like a little, as in and of itself, won't be terminal yet, but she's 94.
Yeah.
They're all, if you put them all in the same kind of cup, you've got her death toll, and she wasn't accepted.
So when your mother, and we heard her there saying, why am I still here? What's the point? Questioning things like that. Your family's gone through this process of, talking about this, coming to this decision, filling out the application, coming to terms with, what your mother's wishes are. How did your mother take the news that when she was denied? How did you even break that to her? Or did the doctor do that?
My mother is I call her Marion meek and mild because she's so gentle. I've never heard my mother get upset in my life. That's not an over-exaggeration. It's the way she is. And so it was just kind of oh, now what?
And so what's the answer to that? The now what? Will you be seeking a second opinion, or how are you as a family, and how is she processing this then?
Well, my mother doesn't fight. One of the things I've always wanted her to fight, but now she's kind of just, she's been paneled, so she has to go to a nursing home. She can't be managed at home with home care. So it means that she could also be very, very far away from her home community in that whole process until a bed becomes available in our community. So it's kind of here I am in the hospital. I just have to wait.
So there's layers of things here.
There's layers and layers. And she's not a mentally ill woman. This is my field. And she is not what you would consider depressive or any of those kinds of things.
So when a doctor says that, that what she has is incurable and serious, you go through the process, then you're denied MAID. What went through your head when you heard that this wouldn't happen for her?
It was, the end isn't quite in sight yet. And how after 94 years, how disappointing that might be when you don't want to spend whatever year left in a nursing home far away from your family. So it kind of becomes, I can't die, and I can't live properly either. I can't live in community. I can't live with my family and my friends of many, many, many years around me. I have to go somewhere. So right now the hospital is being kind about it by just kind of letting her stay where she is. But I know that that's not always the reality either.
When you hear, and you heard me cite, I'm just going to grab some of the stats so I have them correct here, but when you hear, that Manitobans are denied MAID at 5 times the national average, that there's something happening in this province that is different, what goes through your mind?
I think it's I'm guessing, okay, I don't know for fact, that it's a moral discussion as versus what is actually physically happening for her. I've also heard statistics that men are approved easier than women, at least across Canada. I was shocked when I was told those statistics, but I felt powerless. I'm sure my mom felt powerless. You don't know what to do.
Here is what those statistics are in some details. So the province's 32% denial rate in 2024, the data CBC has, was, as I said, more than 5 times the national average of 6%, according to the federal report on MAID. That was published in November. Now, we did talk to the health minister. We reached out to Zoma Seguera's office. It suggested that 2024 numbers could be an anomaly, but in our reporting, it wasn't just 1 year, and it is still unclear why this is happening. As you said, we can't confirm this is a moral, issue, but to the thinking around the moral issues that might prevent MAID from happening. Mm-hmm. What would you say about that? Like when you're thinking in the context of your mom trying to make her own decision for her life, and then a societal moral value that might be put on something.
I think they should be they should be separate. It should be an individual's choice, and the systems should be there, hopefully, to facilitate an individual's choice if mental illness is not the compounding factor, which it's not here. I can see that mental health will be a concomitant factor in the future if she's lying in bed for a year away from community. The statistics, the international statistics say that isolation and and loneliness are the largest mental health issues in nursing homes, and that they can't just be corrected by a pill, or they can't be corrected by, oh, we'll have this activity or that activity. She's bedbound. So it just kind of leaves you with no solutions as a family.
What's it going to be like, Valerie, for you to go back to Minnesota?
Well, I'm here until I can't be, and because also as a dual citizen, I have to look at, I can't be here for longer than 6 months. I go back to the States occasionally for a weekend or something like that, but I don't know.
You're juggling that.
And I'm the only child left. I have a disabled brother, but it's me and him. Yeah.
How do you think overall Manitoba, you've somewhat spoken to this already, but I don't want to miss in case you have something to add. How do you think Manitoba can improve the MAID system?
That's going to be hard. I think they have to look at other systems that are using it more effectively and compare the notes as to what is happening here as versus what is happening in BC or Ontario or Quebec. Is it simply a matter of
why?
The why. I don't.
The why we're different here.
Yes. Yeah. Why? Why are we different? Like, I didn't know that when we applied. That. Oh yeah, there was going to be a good chance that we were going to be denied.
I'm sorry for what's been going on with your family, but thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Sharing her family's story, Valerie Penner in CBC studio this morning, the daughter of Marion Penner, a 94-year-old Steinbach woman who says who has been denied medical assistance in dying. If you want to read more about this, cbc.ca/Manitoba, Christopher Garrow's story has some more details about those statistics that we were citing.